we were told, your son is autistic, so here's what you need to do. What you need to do is go home and have a good cry. That's the first thing you need to do. Then after you have a good cry, then you need to start planning for the future. You need to find an institution to put your son in when he gets older, because you won't be able to handle him.
It just feels like someone just took my house, shook me upside down, and, just dug my kid's soul and took off. Left me behind with this person that wasn't what he was before.
But, it's your child, so it's okay. And, you immediately want answers.
The single most discouraging thing out there right now is the lack of hope for children with an autism diagnosis.
I expect there are harder things out there in life, but this is one of the hardest.
In November of 2000, I posted an invitation up on the internet to meet other parents. 10 families showed up that day to our house. We had no idea that it was such a desert of no information, but more importantly, no hope and no community. And I think TACA just took off because like-minded people wanted to participate.
And you could just start talking about what was real.
And when they had a success story, we all had a success story.
Right.
When they had a victory, we all celebrated that victory, but then we shared how to recreate the victory.
One of the big aha moments for us was one of Jeff's biggest issues was inability to sleep. And we found that Jeff had chronic reflux. He had no language, he had no functional language at the time. He couldn't tell us he was in pain. Once we found that out and we treated the reflux and we treated the gastrointestinal issue, sleep happened.
And school got better, behaviors got better.
It wasn't a behavioral condition to treat.
So what we want to do is identify these underlying causes, whether they be a problem with the mitochondria, a problem with seizures, problem with reflux, gastrointestinal problems like diarrhea. We want to find those things and then treat them, not just treat the symptoms.
Each time we did something different based on labs and based on recommended comorbid treatments, he got better. And it continues today.
TACA is instrumental because they help to educate people about these biomedical problems. They put on conferences, they put on webinars, they help get the word out, they publish an actual book that helps people go through these step-by-step, how you can identify the underlying biomedical problems, how you can talk to your physician about testing for these things, and potential treatments that might be beneficial in improving the child's underlying medical problems and thus improving their behavior over time.
The current prevalence of autism is at an epidemic rate of 1 in 68. Affecting almost 3 million children in the U.S. alone. That's more than AIDS, diabetes, and cancer combined. And yet, autism continues to be one of the most underfunded compared to other childhood diseases. TACA has chapters in 27 states and over 700 parent volunteers sharing knowledge, resources, and educating and empowering families living with autism.
When you're part of the TACA family, you're not alone. You know you're not going it alone. And I think that is absolutely critical. When your family's left you, most often when your spouse has left you, and it's just you and your kid or your kids, who do you turn to? Where do you go?
TACA. Many TACA families have been able to recover their children and reverse the diagnosis. For others, the path may be longer on their journey, but TACA will always be a beacon of hope and support. TACA will never give up on these kids and their families. More than ever, TACA needs your help.
For that doctor that said, look for an institution, that man that was delivering no hope, for the speech pathologist that said, you will never make a sound. It's just not true. They just didn't know what to do.